Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So dear Dhamma practitioners, after a few days, we're going to start our meditation session again. And as all of you know, we are experiencing this fire situation in Los Angeles. And so today, practice, we're going to focus to that. So first, let me get connected with the, okay. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck, head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, so as all of you know, these 5 days, we are experiencing this fire situation in Los Angeles. So, when it comes to natural disasters, it's beyond our hand. And especially in California, this wildfire situation is always happening, especially after the summertime. So when this kind of situations happens, sometimes it is very difficult for us to understand it, because I was listening to some people who lost their properties, and some people went outside, and when they come back, their house already gone. So they cannot accept that what happened. They cannot understand what happened, because when they leave, the house was there. Now when they come back, it's gone. So our mind always depending on the perception we perceive. With our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, the whatever that we experience around us create the balance inside us. So when suddenly these material things disappear, it's very difficult for the mind to absorb it. So when the earthquake happened, the same. I know when the tsunami happens in Sri Lanka during that time, the same thing happened. People were shocked. How this happened? Why this happens? And I heard that there are many people cannot accept it. It's very difficult for them to accept. And all over the world, everybody think this should not happen. But according to the Dhamma, according to the teachings, according to the very fundamental teachings of the Buddha, we have to understand this is the reality of our life. So of course, first of all, we send our blessings and our thoughts always with all the people who ever got affected from this fire. This time, it's not like any other time. And also, it is not just only Los Angeles. There are many other places in the world. People are experiencing different kind of turbulence, unbalance, unrest. So our thoughts and our prayers going to be with that all. And at the same time, what we can do when this kind of situations happens, and what is the lesson we can gain out of this, is very important for all of us. So then always remember the basic principle when it comes to life. Nothing belongs to you. Of course, we think, oh, this is mine, that is mine, but nothing belongs to you. Conventional level, we think it belongs to me. But when it comes to the ultimate reality, it's not like that. As humans, so you can have thousands hopes, and tomorrow 10,000 uncertain things can happen to you, except that 1,000 hopes. When you have 1,000 hopes, that 1,000 hopes not going to happen in the world. But 10,000 things will happen to us which we never hopes in our life. So that is the reality. But we are always struggling in our life to make things happen the way we want. So we have to understand we are in a kind of like a current that we moving with nature. So far in this journey that we did this meditation, we took the very primary mental object as our primary mental object, our inhalation exhalations. So it says, when you understand the nature of the breathing, you understand everything. So when you observe the inhalation exhalations, you are capable to recognize happens according to the bodily condition, not according to the mind, not according to the way you want. Another thing is, it's always changing. So when it comes to your life, the most important, very fundamental property or the blueprint is, the foundation is the breathing. Once the breathing stop, this everything going to stop. So the breathing is the bridge that keep the connection us to this world. So that's why when you observe the very deeper foundation of your life, the connection of your life, you understand it always change. It not belong to you. It has its own way. And how it connected to this outside world. Why I want to bring this, the breathing, and talk about this fire. So when it comes to this world, there are 4 elements. So those 4 elements are heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So that properties, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So those are the properties govern this universe, this world, this body, this mind, and everything. So whatever belong to you, remember, that all belong to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So you can understand it as a physical property, but at the same time, when it comes to your mind, this invisible, unknown, unseen, shapeless, bodiless mind, the mind can understand everything following these 4 elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. That is the very language of the mind. Of course, you understand things by the names and forms. So that names and poems help us to develop, maintain this physical material world. But when it comes to your mind always has the ability to follow things according to the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So then remember, when it comes to this world, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you do. End of the day, this everything belong to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And so observing breathing will take you to deeper understand the very nature of the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Of course, if you start to observe your body, you are capable to understand this all these four properties. Somewhere you can recognize the heat, somewhere you can recognize the motion, somewhere you can recognize the heat, and somewhere you can recognize the liquid nature. But with the breathing, it is very important. With the breathing, we understand the very nature of the motion. So the motion created by the wind power. So when it comes to your entire body, the major powerful mass that the highest property is the wind. Just imagine when it comes to the healthy body depend on the balance, strength, flexibility. So these all three things, strength, balance, flexibility, all these three things, three legs, governs by the wind power, air. All the strength develop with the breathing, and all the strength generate in your joints. So all the joints are kind of like transformers, energy center points. So when you try to push something, pull something, when you try to use your strength, the way you breathing effect for your strength. Just as example, if you close your nose and mouth and without proper breathing, if you try to push or pull, you can't generate any energy. That's why, especially when it comes to weightlifting, heavy weight, of course, they are more focused to the weight, but still the very key point is breathing. How you inhale and exhale can generate the energy inside you, strength inside you. And when it comes to balance, so the balance created by the air. So that's why in your ears, the air balance develop the balance of your physical body. That's why when you have the vertigo, you start to experience that out of balance. So it's the air pressure. And as you know, the blood need to go all over our body to keep a healthy body. So the blood need take the oxygen. So the air need to go through entire your body. And when it comes to when we get old, if you lose your flexibility, you cannot move. So the flexibility all depend on the air. So the air system, there are many different air system inside us. Inhalation, exhalations, and when it comes to lungs and the heart, and when it comes to blood, there is a different circular system. And when it comes to bones, and when it comes to muscles, there are, and according to organs, there are different ways the air behave. But somehow remember the deepest, very strongest fundamental property when it comes to the very element is the air elements. So we're going to tackle it. We're going to understand it. We're going to master it. And mastering that will help you to tackle it. Once you're able to tackle the most strongest, powerful elements, you are anymore not bound to this physical material world. That is how you can become free from it. Otherwise, always you're going to be a prisoner to these four elements. That's why in the ancient time, all the yogis, all the rishis used to master the breathing. The most of the meditation techniques related to breathing. The reason is, once you are capable to handle this air element inside you, you are capable to become free from this physical material world. So when it comes to our physical body, and sometimes people are experiencing anxiety, depression, and sometimes people experience cancer, some other high blood pressure, low blood pressure, sugar, many things. But most of things start with the lack of breathing. You don't have enough air to generate the strength. Of course, we know that all other elements, fire elements, water elements, earth elements. So actually these are kind of like those are kind of like qualities. Even though we use the water, then it helps us to understand as a form. We develop a picture to understand about it. When we say the earth element, it helps us to understand the very nature of the earth. Hardness. Hardness is a quality that carried by the earth. So that's why we use these words. Only practice point of view. So then just imagine, in your body, to have a healthy body, you have to balance these four elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Air element, fire element, earth element, water element. So when the air element is not enough, what happens? All other three elements start to perform weak. Your performance going to become very weak. So all the fire element, the water element, earth element depend on the wind element, according to the breathing. So if you practice always the deeper inhalation, exhalation, you bring the air elements to inside, and it helps you to increase the fire element and balance it, the water elements, earth elements. And when it comes to acupuncture, what they does, they balance they generate all other elements, bringing the air elements, balancing the air elements, they strengthening other elements. That's the basic principle when it comes to acupuncture. So the air element is the very key point. So if the air element is not balanced, if it is go out of balance, you become unhealthy. So then always remember, when you want to have a healthy balance, physical body, and develop the power of the air element, keep the balance with the air elements, and that will help you to balance all other elements. If you become lethargic, lazy, so then bring the air elements. So breathing deeply in and out, so then it's going to go away. So why I talk about this today? So as you know, when it comes to this fire, when the fire start, it's not the fire start to go around. The wind was the very key point for this. So the wind, more than any other time, the wind was so fast, strong, like 100 miles per hour. That much it was strong. So when the wind element come and hit the fire, fire becomes strong. See, that's why the fire element not listen, that when it comes to elements, the elements never going to listen to you. So the elements going to listen to elements. Fire, wind, water, earth. So the fire always friendly with the wind. So the fire always listen to the wind. And at the same time, fire is so friendly with the water. It doesn't matter that whatever other things you put, when you put the water, it's going to be harnessed with the water. And it doesn't matter wherever the water goes, end of that all, the water come back to the earth. See the connection that they have, that all these four elements. In the ancient time, our ancestors knew this. They didn't follow their desires. They didn't follow that whatever they want to do, and they didn't go against the nature. They always look how this four element behave. And rather than go against the elements, they were surrendered to it. They used these elements to make their life comfortable rather than go against the elements. But unfortunately, what happens today, rather than understanding the nature, people are developing a mind to overtake the nature. They don't understand. End of the day, we have to surrender to these elements. We think, oh, we are human, we can do whatever we want, we can overtake anything. So kind of like that. But remember, this is a very good lesson for all of us. It doesn't matter who we are, where we live, what we do. When the elements are start to connect, we cannot do anything. So then when it comes to our spiritual practice, how you can understand the way you maintain and communicate with this four element is your next element. That is what called the wisdom. That is what called your spirituality. What is the spirituality means? Spirituality means the way you maintain these four elements. The way you communicate with the heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. So, when you observe your inhalation, exhalation, you are capable to recognize the very nature of these all four elements. Once you understand it, you can recognize. So this element has nature, interdepending. That is where the causality comes. So the foundation of this all physical material world, elements, heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, and the very nature of this element interdepending. Within this four element, they are communicate each other. They are behave according to their comfort. They're sharing information. They're sharing the energy according to the way they want. The very nature of the four elements, they never go against. They always try to be together. Remember that. But when it comes to us, we are the one who creating bodily, verbally, mentally actions to go against, make it separate. We can make it separate for a while, but somehow, if there is an opportunity, they're going to come together. So then what you need to understand, remember this entire universe somehow governed by four elements. It has a natural way of kind of like a law of nature. So the very nature of these four elements always change. And if you observe it very carefully, what you can understand, the element, when it starts to change, it has a pattern. So then rather than go against, understand the pattern of the elements and start to follow it. And so you know when the winter come, you know when the wind come, you know when the summer come, you know it has a pattern. So if you start to go with that pattern, you can make a kind of like a very, very flexible, comfortable environment around you. So once you understand the pattern, then you develop the quality of flexibility, adaptivity. Go with the flow. So then always remember, this everything, end of the day, this everything go to four elements. Your physical, material, this everything belong to four elements. When the day comes, somehow it going to listen to all other elements. So the four elements always there, but sometimes one element going to become stronger. Then once it becomes stronger, you can see it but deeply, the other elements start to follow it. But somehow, when it comes to meditation, the major important elements we focus is the air. And when it comes to this world, when it comes to this material, universal world, if you look very carefully, air is the major element govern this all. Look at the universe, the stars. It's all the stars in a journey, moving very fast. Even we don't know where we are heading. Entire universe. It's unimaginable. It's unthinkable. It's moving so fast. Each and every dust in this entire universe pushing by the air, turning by the air, moving by the air. So that's it's so powerful. And when it comes to fire, the fire generated by the air. That's why that when you want to make fire, so you blowing the air, what will happen? If you give the more and more and more air, what will happen? The fire going to become more happy, more happy, more happy. And the earth element, so strong, so at hardness. But when the earthquake happens, it become liquid. So how the earthquake happen? What is the major key? Air. So air has once the air start to push here and there, the plate, what happened? This everything collapse. So the weak power of the wind is so strong. Master yourself the power of the wind. How you can do that? How you can master the power of the wind? Mastering your breathing. Mastering your breathing. So, of course, the best meditation technique when it comes to breathing, anapanasati. Observing the inhalation, exhalation without pushing or pulling. But now, the mastering the breathing, there are many techniques. So one is that you can always practice early in the morning. You wake up, you deeply breathing and hold it. And slowly breathe out deeply through your mouth. So you keep doing few moments. And that will help you to absorb more and more and more breathing to your body. Your lungs start to become expand. And once once you have a strong, larger, bigger lungs, your performance going to become, your physical performance going to become more strong. Another thing is your nerve system, sympathetic nerve system, parasympathetic nerve system, all depend on the breathing. And your joint become healthy once you start to breathe deeply. So this all related to maintain the physical body. And another one is you take a deep breathing and then you lock it. And not to your chest, deeper to your belly, the very bottom side of your belly. You lock your breathing and you stop everything. Just completely relax your body. And stay, you can count mentally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like that you can count maybe to 10. Then you feel your lungs feel vibrate. It's kind of like a turbulence. Your body feel unrest. Then you slowly relax. Take all the breathe out and pause. Without breathing, stay the same count. If you breathing and hold 1 to 10 and breathe out without breathing, just stay 1 to 10. So it creates a kind of like a pressure inside you to take more breathing next time. So like that, maybe you from 1 to you can count even 100 by the time. You can stay little by little, you can sustainable the technique little by little. So practice it. So once it come to that level, your physical body going to become more relaxed and comfortable, and then the breathing system going to become more smooth, and it will help you to maintain your perception very clearly. You don't get afraid, you don't get disturbed, you are emotionally not going to become kind of like a high. So you are capable to keep the mind over this all the matters. Just mastering breathing, mastering breathing. There are many techniques. But so by the time you come to a point not to breathing in or breathing out, not to interfere with it, but just allow it to happen itself and then observe. And just try to recognize the 4 elements within inhalation, exhalation. Heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. And then by the time once you are capable to recognize it, once a while you see one element is become a stronger, heat or motion or hardness or kind of like that. But by the time you are capable to see all these 4 elements within one inhalation, within one exhalation. And then by the time you are capable to recognize in your body how these elements behave. And by the time you are capable to recognize when according to that elements, how the thoughts change. And then by the time you are capable to recognize these outside material things, when you see something, you can see which element is stronger. And then by the time you are capable to recognize and understand how the elements behave each other, communicate each other. So in that way, you are capable to recognize the more the condition of the present moment. And then by the time when a situation happens, you are capable to recognize which element is stronger in that condition. So that's why when you study the history or the past situation, something happened in the past, you are capable to analyze which element used to be stronger. So in that way, you are capable to see in the future, according to the behavior of the elements, what's going to happen. That's why when it comes to the development of the science, what they try to see, they try to read the behavior of the elements. And according to the behavior of the elements, they are capable to get an idea about the future. What will happen? So like that. Like a weather forecast. When it comes to the science and technology, one of the major important part people that understood the weather pattern, because our life depends on that. Especially the rain. So when the rain comes, if you know before it comes, you can prepare for it, not go against it. You accept it. When the wind comes, you prepare for it, like animals. So they are more capable to understand this behavior. But as humans, we also have this nature, but we are now so separate from these elements, understanding these elements. Why? Because our mind somewhere else. Our mind somewhere else. So that's why practicing meditation will help you to come to the present moment. The present moment means the moment you experience, and then you are capable to deeply understand these four elements, the behavior of the four elements. Once you understand the behavior of the four elements, you are capable to understand the nature. Once you are capable to understand the nature, you are capable to understand how things come to be as they are. If you have that wisdom within yourself, whatever happens, you're not going to get panic. You're not going to get disappointed. You're not going to collapse. You're not going to fearful. You're not going to have any kind of anxiety or the depression, because now you know how it happens. So then remember, we came to this world with the help of the four elements. We grow in this world with the help of the four elements. We depending on this world with the help of these four elements. So rather than go against it, it is better for you to understand about it and be with it. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say, So Pateva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. So now take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the inhalation and exhalation, and then by the time, try to recognize which element is stronger with each and every inhalation and exhalation. Sometimes heat, sometimes motion, and sometimes liquidity, and sometimes hardness. Just try to recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Please, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha mihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanudhamma Patipattiya Buddhang Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranamha Paribunjissami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.